Do you have any unusual words in your language?
What do you mean by unusual?
So unusual, let's say it's a word that exists in your country, but it's not common or it doesn't exist in other languages. There is no translation for it. For example, okay, in Morocco we have this word. It's very important. How can we? So there are many words, but let me pick this one. Kitchhar. This is like a Moroccan word that means, how can I translate it? So when you have food,
You said at the beginning that there's no translation.
I'm trying to come up with something. So when you have food that is cooking and you have like the sauce, so the concept of like decreasing the sauce and like cooking more the meat, this is, we say shahar, like make this to the food so that it becomes more delicious. Okay? Also, when I'm preparing tea and I'm heating it so that it boils and mixes, we also call that shaharate. It makes it like nicer.
What is it?
Shahar. It's not like in Arabic, it's just we say that in Morocco. For example, when you have an argument with someone and then you give them a punchline, we say shahar give him the response or something like that. Shahar, oh, you hear what he said? Something like that, yeah. So I think that's like very interesting because in our culture we have it, and mostly we use it for food, like for cooking. It's like very normal. But for example, if you want to translate this concept to someone else, you would have trouble. I don't know what would you say.
We have a word like in Saudi they have the word habibi. So I mean, even though the literal meaning is like sweetheart, but it's you can use it with anyone. So we have a similar word, especially used in my city. It's called yar. Yar. Like you can call your friend yar, but the literal meaning is lover. So
it's the same one. It just like it's called jar.
So we have yar.
Yeah, it's like when you say my yar.
Yeah.
It's like my lover, no?
Yeah, but we can call it like it's a slang, so we can a friend can call like my yar, so it would be like a friend. Yeah.
So you say yar,
even I know that word yar. So for example, like I guess in your languages you ask for how are you, right?
Yeah.
Do you? It's like how are you, but we don't actually. So when we meet each other, we sometimes just ask people, have you eaten?
Oh.
So that's like the expression.
Okay,
so the thing is, yeah. So the first few months and my first semester here, I really felt weird each and every time when others asked me how I was, because I just feel like
I am me.
Okay, I'm good. I did this today. I did this yesterday. I'm going to do this tomorrow. What more do you want to know from me?
How do you reply? Like someone asks you, like, have you eaten? In the sense of like, how are you? And you would say, yes, I have eaten.
Yeah, something like that. Sure.
And it will mean like, that I'm good.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It literally means have you eaten. So if you haven't eaten, you say I haven't eaten.
But it means like, how are you?
We don't actually have that thing, so that's why.
It doesn't exist.
So that's why when I'm speaking English,
a lot of things. Sometimes people are confused. Like they don't get along with other people, and it could be part of the explanation. And it's not because they don't get along, just because they have different cultures.
Yeah, and when we say how are you, it means I'm really concerned. For example, you're in hospital, you just got hit by a car, and I go to your bed. I really need to ask how are you.
Yeah, I see.
So it's not going to say like good. You need to tell me
when you ask it. You ask when you really mean it.
Yeah, so that's why when I'm speaking English, even when others are asking me how are you, I was like good. And I'm going to have a meeting in 10 minutes. After the meeting, I'm going to have
You're starting the conversation.
Yeah. To get the details.
So like people keep walking because sometimes people are like, "How are you?" and they keep walking. What are you doing? Then running behind me.
I mean, now I learn. Now I learn just like most people really. I mean, sometimes people don't even really care.
Yeah.
They're just like, "How are you good? How are you good? How are you fine? Good. Just
okay." For the Kazakh, I can't come up with the two words because he was saying, "How are you?" I was like, what would I actually reply? We don't say. I mean, you can say I'm good, but in most cases, if you want to say like, thank God everything is nice, you say shukr, which I think shukr means like you're thankful that everything is stable or fine.
Okay.
Like I don't think there is like this. I don't think there is a translation. right? So it's like shukr, barjah, like
But what-
thank, not even thank God. It's like I'm thankful to the God, or like
okay.
I'm happy that everything is going as it is going. Like it is just going.
So it's the answer of
stable.
how are you.
Yeah.
We also have like Allah ka shukr. So it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just and then a second one that I wanted to initially say was the word, like it's similar. It's not jar, but it's like you want to say my darling. Usually, like mothers would say, or like the lovers would say it too. So it's basically qaragum. But qaragum means literally the iris, like my iris.
Ooh,
It's like it's
apple of my eye.
yeah. It's like no,
Give us
like,
some points.
my grandma would usually say "qaragum qalaysin," which means, if you translate it, it's like how my apple of eye is doing. It's like it is very close.
Okay.
It's very close, and you're like,
You're very special to your grandma.
that's true.
You should text her and say, hi,
for
grandma, how are you doing?
for us it's like a piece of heart. It's like dil ka tukda. So how are you doing my piece of heart?
Yeah, so it's like very close.
Yeah, I'll give you two. So the first one is how far? How far?
How far?
Usually the way you ask anybody like in English, how far? In English it means
How far?
what's the distance?
Right, exactly that.
But in Nigeria, it's basically how are you? How is everything? Like you can use it in so many numerous ways. Like if you're cooking, I can tell you how far, which means
How far
what's up with the meal? Like, are you done?
How far is your progress?
That's
You're
that's the
like
way.
before you
Right?
die.
You can compare that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Before you die.
how far are you?
Yeah, it's like the question for everything. So, thing going on between you and your girlfriend. How far?
How far the hours left?
And then you can meet someone like, oh, how
question.
far? Like, how are you doing? Like, how is everything?
I think if you're in Nigeria and then you would be asking how
Exactly.
far, they'll be like, what do you mean how far?
Exactly.
Like, specify.
It's you use it
Not-
for
not
almost
decent.
every scenario.
No decent conversation.
Everything. So it could be if I see someone first time, the first thing I say to them is how far. If I see a fellow Nigerian anywhere else, and I don't know where they come from the country, and I want to ask how they are, I'll be like how far. But like it's very casual, right? So I cannot see somebody that is older and then I say how far. But if it's someone I know already, I'll be like, okay, so how are you? But like generally we use it for almost anything. Homeworks, just to ask about the progress of something, or to ask about the detail of something.
How
So
far?
how far?
How far?
Interesting.
And it comes from Pidgin English actually.
Okay.
So because I told you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sometimes you hear two words, you feel like you know them individually, but when you put them together,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. The other second thing I wanted to say was we thank God. So we thank God, but O at the back. So we thank God. O. We thank God. O. O is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like we add it to almost everything. How are you doing?
Oh.
So
How far?
How far? Like,
so it's like
How far?
how's life?
everything-
How's life?
generally, right? This doesn't apply to every single person, but generally, when you ask Nigerians, how is everything? What they will tell you is, we thank God.
Yeah.
Like, how did you pass your exam? We thank God. Like,
I see.
how is your business booming? What did you do? What are the steps you took to make your business go well? We thank God. Like, I need you to tell me.
I am gonna use this.
Yeah,
It's like in general Muslims when you ask them and they say Alhamdulillah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Almost the same translation.
So somebody asks me all the time, like, how is your studies going?
Yeah.
In that, I'm just
How are you doing? Alhamdulillah.
out of reflex. We thank God. Like,
We thank God.
you understand? Okay. Thank God for the way everything is right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
In
just
for us, it's like sugar.
Yeah.
so.